So guys, today we're going to look at dark versus light genes. So we're just going to show you a bunch of animals and show you the different interaction that both light and dark genes has got on each other, and also how they react in different combinations. So touching base, what should you have in the collection? Should you have more lighter genes or darker genes? Well, in my opinion, any well-balanced collection needs a bit of both. With darker genes, it brings out a lot of contrast, and it sometimes helps with pattern distribution and changing up the patterns. And with the lighter genes, it brings out a lot more of the saturation in terms of coloration. So let's take the first animal here. This is an Enchi red stripe pied, and even though it's in shed, you guys can see so both Enchi and red stripe are color enhancing genes or lighter genes, and as you guys can see is interacting into the pied. Of course the Enchi makes the pied a bit lower white and brings out a bit more of orange coloration, but the red stripe just intensifies it and brings out a lot more orange on the side and just an overall better coloration on the animal. So in our collection we have a bit of both. We've got definitely a lot of darker genes in our collection, and we've got a lot of supers which are lighter genes as well. And like I said in the past, the supers is really great. Super Mandarin, Super Lace, Super Vanilla, all of these super genes, because if you reproduce with them in the near future, you're not going to produce a white snake and you can use it on any other project. So here we've got a red stripe, black pastel, Enchi, yellow belly clown, head for desert ghost. And this female is actually, she's got a combination of both of lighter and darker genes. So of course red stripe and yellow belly, and Enchi is again enhancing genes. Red stripe brings out of this rusty coloration, yellow belly brings out the whiter side or the more orange side in this case, and then black pastel brings out the dark contrast between the alien heads and all of these smaller markings around the sides. So as you guys can see here we've got actually 3 lighter genes and then 1 darker gene, and look at the overall coloration of this animal. It gives it this rustic brown look, which I think is the perfect in between when working with these combos. Then we've got another one here. This is a GHI Enchi Lace, head for pied, and yet again GHI being the darker color mutation in this combo, and an Enchi and Lace being the color enhancements in this combination. So in this combo, GHI brings out a lot of the dark coloration, bring out these saddles and these nice patterning on the snake itself. Enchi likes to clean up the combinations, and Lace of course just makes the overall animal brighter. So real awesome animal, and I think to actually go Super Lace with this snake is going to be real incredible. We're still going to have the dark contrast from the GHI. The Enchi will still bring out a lot of banding and reducing the pattern, but the GHI would, and the white lace will just make it a lot brighter and keep that coloration in the near future. Here's another one. This is an Enchi Lace head pied. So you guys can see now, if we actually compare these two animals with each other, so they're exactly the same. The one has just got GHI, and as you guys can see the GHI brings in that dark contrast and really just defining the pattern of the animal itself. So here you guys can see a real clear difference that the darker genes does into these combos and how it affects it long term. So 2 beautiful animals, and like I said, these females are actually our holdback females that we kept back from the last 2 years. And as you guys can see, we focused a lot on the Lace project just because we feel going forward they're going to be key in our future projects to really enhance our projects and bring out the best in the animals. Here's an OD black pastel vanilla clown, which is head ultramol. So yet again here we've got 1 dark gene, which is black pastel. We've got orange dream and vanilla, and of course clown being mostly pattern dominant, and black pastel bringing out the real dark contrast of the snake, and like I said, broadening in these teardrops and also the patterning on the saddles itself. Then orange dream and vanilla is just playing a huge role in changing the coloration of this animal. So this is a great female for our future collection. I think a super vanilla ultramol clown might be one of those projects which is a touch and go. We're not exactly sure how it's going to pan out, but I think it could be quite decent. And here's yet again another project. So this is Blackhead Mojave Exantic. So of course Exantic bringing out the silver coloration, but Blackhead and Mojave being both actually darker genes, you guys can see as they interact with each other, and you get a nice black back patterning with these beautiful alien heads on the side. And of course the Exantic is just giving it the silver coloration. Blackhead is another great gene, and especially in clown combos, we love the Blackhead clowns. I mean, for instance, here's the Black Panther female we produced last year, and she's a confusion leopard blackhead phantom clown. So she's actually got a mixture of actually mostly darker gene combinations, and as you guys can see, is look at the great contrast and the pattern distribution that these genes are bringing to the clown combo. Of course, Blackhead is very dark in clowns, Confusion likes to disrupt the patterning, and Phantom and Leopard is playing a role in the pattern, and Phantom is also ultimately playing a role in the screamy darker coloration that this female's got. One of my favorite females that we have in the collection, and hopefully in the next couple of years when she reaches maturity, we will see her on a clutch of eggs and get some awesome babies from her. Sticking on to the clown project, and yet again having a mixture of both darker and lighter genes. This is Red Stripe Yellow Belly Stranger Clown, and yet again a very similar interaction that Black Pastel's got with Red Stripe and Yellow Belly, but actually completely different. You guys will see as this animal's got more of a golden tint to it, and it's got just an increase of yellow. And of course you guys can see the yellow belly making a huge difference here at the side, bringing out this awesome yellow coloration on her. And if we check the belly, you will see she's got a pure white belly with some with some yellow on the sides and a bit of yellow saturation also inside. So real awesome female, and another one of our holdbacks which I'm super excited to grow up in the near future. This is another one. These two animals were actually siblings. So this is a Stranger Orange Dream Clown, and if you compare it to the previous snake, you'll see this animal's got much more darker contrast, a lot less yellows, and the coloration is not as how can you say, broken up. So with this, I think the Stranger just brings out a lot more pattern, bringing out these darker saddles, and Orange Dream just intensifying the coloration. So two awesome females. I must say the Stranger project is something that we've had for a couple of years. We haven't necessarily worked it into too many projects. This year we should have actually some Stranger Desert Ghost clowns, if the odds are willing, and we should have some nice Stranger clown combos along with Stranger Desert Ghost. Here's a real interesting animal, and I think going forward she's going to be a key project animal for our future projects. So this is a Chocolate Sugar Desert Ghost, head for hypo. So chocolate being a darker contrast morph, and then sugar being a pattern and also, of course, a color mutation. You guys can see as we get the best of both worlds in the Desert Ghost version. You can see, like, look at this awesome granite type or graphite type of pattern that you got here. Almost like a slight gray look to her. And of course we've got the nice Desert Ghost coloration influencing the animal. So this female I'm actually very excited about for the near future. I'd love to get Puzzle into this project, and maybe if everything goes well, paint in the near future. It's a real exciting animal. Here's a Confusion Fire Leopard Phantom Clown. So if you compare this animal to one of the previous snakes we showed you, the Black Panther, she doesn't have blackhead in her, and as you guys can see, she is not as dark as the blackhead version. Of course, fire is also making a huge influence on this combo, making it more of a creamy look, and of course Confusion's bringing out all of this jagged up patterning and all of this pixelation. So real awesome female for our future projects. And going this side, these are still some of our younger holdbacks. So as you guys can see, we still have quite a few that need to move up in the coming months to bigger tubs. So this is a red stripe firefly leopard head for puzzle. So leopard being a pattern dominant mutation, red stripe fire and pastel are both color mutations. And as you guys can see, is red stripe and firefly, or red stripe and pastel, actually works extremely well, and the leopard just helps up to break up the patterning and bring more of a pixelation and alien heads also into the combo. And what I love about this female is, look at the side patterning. It's such an incredible animal. So she's going to be a great female for super red stripe puzzles in the near future. I think if we are able to reproduce those, I think it's going to be nothing less than spectacular. Then here we go to some hypos. So here's a mahogany hypo, and mahogany being another dark contrast gene. But as you guys can see, there is definitely a pattern influence on the snake as well. So mahogany, with them being the sumas being a super mahogany, I think there's huge potentials. Even with the sumas, if we really want to try and produce the best and brightest snakes, I think sumas can actually help a lot with suma hypos, suma ultramores, and stuff like that to really intensify the coloration. So this is a little female we're growing up for the future. And going back to another darker gene, here's a confusion leopard black pastel. So as you guys can see, is all of these genes just work so well with each other. And what I love about confusion leopards is, look at that awesome belly. So yet again, confusion being a pattern morph, black pastel being a darker mutation, and then leopard just playing a role with the patterning. Stunning animal, and he's actually double head for ultramore and clown. So he should be in rotation for us hopefully by next year, and maybe we can produce himself in an ultramore clown, or even just an ultramore. I think will be really stunning. And here's a real interesting combination which we produced earlier this year. This is a red stripe blackhead clown, and I must say, with all of the genes or some of the interactions that I've seen, this is one where actually both red stripe and blackhead actually eliminate some of the key characteristics that the gene will have by itself. It's almost got like a motley clown effect to it, but being, you know, two genes which is actually completely opposite. The head stamp you can see is more likely to be almost like a red stripe clown head stamp, but the patterning, you've got the coloration of the red stripe, but you've got the nice reduced patterning of the blackhead. And in some cases, mostly the blackhead clowns are very black back patterning like. So with this female, or with this male, it was actually quite interesting to see how the combo came out. The next two animals I'm going to show you is actually siblings to each other. So the male is a black pastel inchy lace clown, and then the female is a black pastel lace inchy fire clown. So the difference between these two animals is the one has got fire and the other one doesn't have fire. And like you guys can see, is you look at the huge difference that the fire on my left hand side makes to the combo. As you can see, is the black pastel inchy lace clown does have some nice coloration, but the fire ultimately brings out the yellow of the snake a lot more. It just plays a huge role with the coloration of the snake. Here we've got a Cypress Mojave yellow belly. This is a really crazy interaction to me, because Mojave being a lot darker, you would have thought in a Cypress combo it would be much darker as well. But with this animal, it's completely opposite. It's got a yellowish coloration to it with some browns mixed in between. So this is Cypress Mojave yellow belly, double head for Desert Ghost Ultramore. And let's show you guys one more animal. There's so many to show, but it's difficult to show you guys everything. So this is OD Super Vanilla Clown, and look how awesome this animal is. You guys can see us. So Orange Dream yet again is a color enhancing mutation. Vanilla also being a color enhancing mutation, but if you double dose the Super Vanilla or the Vanilla, you actually get the screamy look to it. And the great thing about this female, if we breed with her in the near future, we're not going to get any normals, which I love because it makes the ID a lot easier. And if we want to, let's say for instance, breed something else, like another male with vanilla onto this female, we're not going to get a pure white snake. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video of the dark versus the lighter combinations. There weren't a specific format for this video. I thought we would just show you guys a bunch of awesome animals and showing you the different interactions.